Today I want to talk about LEGO Ninjago and the movie. More specifically, how great the LEGO Ninjago series was, because I recently completed and played the LEGO Ninjago game. And it was good, the combat and all. It was a fun experience, so much so that I actually platinumed the game. But it did make me realize that I didn't enjoy the story that much. So that got me then to think that the early Ninjago seasons were very good, but it also made me think, how did the movie fail that original series? How it wasn't able to capture it? And that's what I want to take a deep dive into today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dissect the first few seasons of LEGO Ninjago, which I personally think was the best it was ever. And then we're gonna talk about how the LEGO Ninjago movie, it just couldn't recreate it. Let's get into it. Now, long before time had a name, back in 2011, when LEGO Ninjago first released, it came as, a basic new cartoon. But it just captured feelings in a different way. Now, mind you, I am a bit biased because I was already a fanatic of LEGO, but still, I really enjoyed it. The characters, the story, everything. Let's talk about, first of all, the pilot episodes, the first two episodes, season 0, as you might call it. In the first two seasons, we can see that Wu comes to Kai and Nia to encourage Kai to join. But Kai, he is reluctant to do so. But after the skeleton army under the control of Lord Garmadon, they kidnap Nia. Kai then joins Wu, and Wu introduces him to the other 4 ninjas, our main characters, Zane, Cole, Jay, and Kai, each of them holding significance with the elements such as Zane being ice, Jay being lightning, Cole being the earth, and Kai being fire. Now, people from these first 2 episodes, they thought that Kai would be the main character going forward, and maybe that was the intent of the story writers from the start, but it did not go that way in the next few seasons, as we will see. But nonetheless, this was, an exciting, let's say, nice opening, nice introduction to this world of Ninjago. Anyways, Tai saves Nia, we get the golden weapons, and I believe we are revealed that Garmadon is the big bad villain, and he is Wu's brother, which is, just another twist, which this seasons of Ninjago has a lot of. Twists is a thing that back then I don't believe it was that cliche, and henceforth these seasons did twists very well. Now, after the initial pilot seasons, we have seasons 1 to 2. In season 1, I believe, was the Rise of the Snakes, in which the snakes are the main villains as compared to the skeletons in season 1. Now, over here, at the start of the season, we are revealed that Lord Garmadon has a son called Lloyd Garmadon. And he is the one, he wants to be a villain like his father, but in reality, he's just, a kid. He's a bratty wannabe villain. And he, in means of trying to create a name for himself, he releases the Serpentine, which are ancient snake people. There are 4 types of snake people. I'm not gonna name them, I don't care. They each have unique abilities and personalities, but the most important one was Pythor, a great villain. He becomes friends with Lloyd, and his goal was to get all of the Fang Blades and resurrect the Great Devourer. Now, the Great Devourer was prophesized to devour all of Ninjago, so that was bad. The ninjas obviously couldn't let that happen. Anyways, the story went along. We get banter within the ninjas. We understand, their characters, their personalities. I believe Jay and Mia's relationship also kind of started in the season, but one of the most important things that happened here was Zane's reveal as an android. You have to understand, ever since the start, Zane was portrayed as this stoic person or character, and in one episode where, he went out to find his true potential, he realized that he was an android, a robot created by a scientist who eventually died. So he didn't actually die, but we get to know that in other future seasons, so that's for later on in another video. But anyways, Zane finds out about his past, and that episode, I believe, is a masterpiece. It gave a stoic robot emotional depth. It evolved Ninjago much more from a kid's comedy. Then, afterwards, in the main story, we get to see that after Zane's reveal and all, in the finale of the story, eventually Pythor gets all of the Fang Blades and he resurrects the Great Devourer. Then, to stop the Great Devourer, the ninjas had to hand over their four legendary golden weapons to Lord Garmadon, because, well, he has 4 arms and he's the only one who can defeat the Great Devourer. So they give him the 4 weapons, and Lord Garmadon defeats the Devourer and he runs off with the weapons. So this then transitions us to season 2. A few more important things. I believe at the end we are shown that Lloyd was actually going to be the Green Ninja, the prophesized Green Ninja. Now, many people wanted Kai to be the Green Ninja, but I believe that to progress the story, the writers made the right choice and, gave the son the destiny to destroy his father. And another, let's say, devastating fact was that Wu was killed. But nonetheless, Sensei Wu wasn't gone, he was in fact alive. This was a really nice twist because, as I stated, it devastated me, I was really sad that Wu was gone. But again, he was alive, so happy again. Anyways, everything goes well as planned, and the Great Devourer is defeated, and we go on to season 2. The legacy of the Green Ninja. I want to talk about other seasons of LEGO Ninjago as well, but I'm just gonna take it till here because season 2 was going to be the last season of LEGO Ninjago, and they made the storyline like that. The writers intended the storyline to end at season 2, but after seeing the massive success of this season, of this brand as a whole, they started to, make more seasons of it. But the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna assume it as the last one. The other seasons after this have charm as well, but those I believe we can talk about in another video. But right now, let's talk about season 2. In season 2, the legacy of the Green Ninja, we go more in depth with Lord Garmadon, who at this time is still a little child. He's much more younger than the other ninjas. Again, I believe I talked about the twist of Lord Garmadon being, the prophesized Green Ninja was again a nice twist because Lloyd didn't want to be the Green Ninja. He wanted to follow in the footsteps of his father, but that was not the case. He was prophesized and he accepted that prophecy, but nonetheless, he was still small. So I remember that in this season, they faced off against the Stone Army. We meet Vakako, I believe, who is told to be the mother of Lloyd Garmadon. And I did not expect them to put this in a kids' cartoon, but they put a love triangle in it. Vakako was in love with Wu, but also Garmadon. Anyway, the connection between Wu and Vakako, I believe it's Vakako, I don't remember, I may be wrong, but the tension between them, it's nicely written in. And it's nice to see that in the cartoon, in Ninjago. But nonetheless, in trying to destroy the Stone Army, Lloyd and the other ninjas all firstly become kids back again, and then all of them, they grow up again. So the ninjas are back to their original ages, but Lloyd, who was originally younger than them, he grows up, which I believe the writers just did to make it more convenient for them going forward. And I don't believe they address it that much in the next few seasons. They do, I believe, address it in this season still, that Lloyd is still a child who's in a grown-up's body. But nonetheless, I believe it was mostly done for convenience. Lastly, it's revealed that Lord Garmadon was not the big bad after all. There's an even bigger big bad, the Overlord. Lord Garmadon goes into cahoots with Lord Overlord. They become one very dark creature, and and then Lloyd actually becomes the Gold Ninja, from the Green Ninja to the Gold Ninja.
Spinjitzu Master!
He reaches his true potential and, he defeats Lord Garmadon and the Overlord. So yeah, everything goes on fine, but in the end, it's also revealed that Lord Garmadon is no longer Lord Garmadon. Like, he's been stripped of all of his evilness, and he's now just Garmadon. It's his father again. It's a wholesome end to the season, and if you watch this season, it shows that this was supposed to be the last season of Ninjago. Overall, in these few seasons, we can see why the storytelling was peak. The entire mythology of Ninjago, it was well written, it had a lot of foresight, it had a lot of drama, it had a lot of high stake action, and you could feel it. It's also enjoyable. It's not too complex that a child can't understand it. And even an adult, he can enjoy it and not see it as just pure child brain rot. Henceforth, it's what made Ninjago. The characters, they have their own flair. Jay, he's quirky, he's a bit weird, but nonetheless, he's likable. The character Zane, as we stated before, he's shown as stoic, but later, why his stoicism is because of the fact that he's an android. Besides that, best character of all, the greatest character of all, Dareth, who can forget him? He's lovely. But now let's talk about how the LEGO Ninjago movie fell short of the mark.
Okay, so now let's talk about the movie. The movie wasn't bad. It was funny. It certainly had its moments because, the jokes were good, the punchlines and all. It did, made me chuckle. But it didn't, as I said before, it didn't live up to the legacy of the show. It didn't have that charm. And well, we will get into the reason why that was. Firstly, because I believe they rebooted it. Most of the fans grew up on the LEGO Ninjago's TV series. So they hoped that maybe, they would continue on that. Maybe an extension of branching off of that storyline, maybe. But they completely rebooted the entirety of the series and made Lloyd the key focus. Now that's okay because the TV series was also Lloyd was becoming the main focus of those series. But what the series did was they also brought forward the other ninjas as well. They didn't just solely focus on one person. They cultivated the characters of the others as well. Whereas in the movie, I believe that they mostly only focused on Lloyd, and they kind of neglected the other ninjas. They just gave them their personalities and didn't really work on them. And the personalities that they did give them, they were bland. They were really bland. They were monotone, I feel like, and didn't have that much depth into them. For instance, Zane had a lot of depth. He was a very good written character in the series, but it was very disturbing to see him in the movie. They butchered him. And the same can be said about the other ninjas as well. Lakai went from a passionate leader to just background noise. Jay, he lost his depth. He just became a wimpy joke delivery gag. Zane, as I stated, that he had a lot of depth, but he was just reduced to a teenager trying to be... a robot trying to be a teenager.
And I'm like, lay off, Mom. I'm just a teenager.
Cole, I don't even remember him. I don't think he got any screen time. Bottom line, they focused on Lloyd and his personality and not much else. They ignored the ninjas. They ignored the base which the TV series built. So it was disappointing, to see it. Small thing that I feel was kind of confusing about the movie was that why was Lloyd chosen to be the leader of the group? I mean, like, maybe due to the fact that he was the son of Lord Garmadon, but in the series it was proven that because Lloyd was destined to be the Green Ninjas, as he was chosen by the Golden Weapons, but in the movie, no such thing was, portrayed. And, he was just chosen to be the leader of the ninjas. No former prerequisite or, let's say, reason was given to us. Overall, I feel that the Lego Ninjago movie, it wasn't for the old fans. It was meant for a newer generation to bring in people. So I think that if you see the movie with fresh eyes, maybe it's going to be a more refreshing feel. It is funny, it's a good lighthearted watch, but it's not our Ninjago.